What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Soul Brothers, hosted by none other than Flex Luther and Morgan Sneaker Room. And of course, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the man over here. We have Kari as a special guest today. Shout out to him.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all having me, man. Long time coming.
So, for the people that don't know, which I'm pretty sure everyone does know, can you give us a small introduction of who you are and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, I go by Kari. Like I say, I say this on the internet a lot of times, but my real name is David. So Kari comes from David Bakari, my middle name. But, yeah, a lot of people call me Kari. I'm a, content creator slash writers, columnist for different sneaker media outlets. I make a lot of kind of in-depth videos. I'm really big on storytelling. So that's kind of my lane within sneakers, is that I like to dig into the history while making it kind of easy to digest and kind of bringing stories back to sneakers and making them enjoyable. So that's kind of my lane and what I do. But yeah, that's me, man. I'm here in Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Where nowhere really knows where it's at, but it's home for me. But yeah, that's what I do, man. I make videos and I talk a whole lot of. Wait, can we curse on here? Can I curse on here?
Yeah.
I talk a lot of shit online. So, but yeah, that's me, man. Appreciate y'all having me.
Where can people find you? Where can people find you, Kari?
They can find me at Sneakerphetish. That's fetish with a PH on all outlets. Anywhere that's anywhere. You can find me at Sneakerphetish.
So I got a quick question, because like I told you, I dove into your content, and I always thought like the sneaker fetish was like a name for you, but is it more of like a name for a segment type deal thing, or?
So I tell people that sneaker fetish to Kari is champagne poppy to Drake. Right. So like sneaker fetish is basically a moniker, right? Kind of like a nickname, for kind of what I am. But as far as who I am when it comes to like the content I make, like, hey, y'all, it's Kari. The channel is Sneaker Fetish. The, kind of the ethos of what I do around sneakers is kind of that fascination, that fixation on sneakers. But the things that I do are within the name Kari. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like what you said about bringing the storytelling to sneakers, because like that is why I am into sneakers. It is my favorite thing about sneakers. So I think that's what me and you have been. We've really vibed. So, I see you mostly on TikTok, or I see you on Twitter, but I think most of our interactions have been on TikTok.
Yeah, and I love what y'all do, man. Like Morgan, man, you were the first I came across, and I was like, damn, this dude is good at what he does, man. Like I'm telling you. So for real, I did not. No, for real, I really didn't. I got to give y'all flowers too. Like I did not realize how much creativity and how strong the community was on TikTok until I tapped in with y'all. And I was like, oh, this is big, because I'm just thinking, like I see replica stuff, I see all that type of shit on there. So I'm like, okay. But when I started really seeing, oh, these guys are making noise and the algorithm kind of shifted, so I saw more of y'all. I was like, oh, okay, I like what I'm seeing here. It's like a whole different world. So kudos to y'all, for real.
I appreciate that. I can tell you that that TikTok is, as a consumer of the media, TikTok is not my favorite space. I'm mostly Instagram. Like that's kind of what I grew up on in the sneaker world. So I'm trying to make TikTok look like how I want it to look. So it's been a journey, but it's been a fun one.
There you go. I love it.
I think I've told Morgan this before, but like TikTok is what got me into content creation. But at the same time, I feel like it's the worst thing that could have happened to sneakers, because of the whole like rep talk and just the different points of view, and like it seemed like it brought up so many distasteful views. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah. And then the rep talk. Oh man, the rep just.
I don't know how y'all deal with it. I really don't know how y'all deal with it, man, because it's everywhere.
It is everywhere.
It's scary, man. It's scary.
So, speaking of which, before we get too far down the rabbit hole, let's get into what we had on feet today.
Yes,
Flex, I don't remember who went last time. Flex, you do all that editing.
You never remember. It's always me first. But What I wore today was the Air Max Plus 3 in the Iron Man colorway. I chased this colorway down for years because I don't know if this was not a United States like release, but I could not find it nowhere. And I finally ran across of it, and it goes for a pretty high price, but this was another one of those Aaron shoes. I seen them, and like they don't get a lot of wear, so I was like, you know what, I ain't really doing nothing today. Let me put these on, give them some wear, put some pressure on them. But yep, that was what's on feet today.
Did you wear it with that hoodie today?
I did not. I did not, bro.
He gave you ketchup and mustard.
Yeah, no, bro. No, sir.
With the bun on the hat. The bun on the hat with the bread.
Thank you. There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
So, I wore something Flexx has never seen before. I wore the Saucony and West NYC Shadow 6000. These are the freshwater colorways.
Nice.
Yeah, really clean. This was a pair that I was kind of chasing for a while, looking for like good prices. Now it seems like everything on GOAT and StockX is starting at $300. And I remember at a time when that used to be like the max you would pay. Like Concord 11's dead stock would be a $300 shoe. But I finally got a good price on these on eBay. Somebody's rent must have been due, and I went ahead and picked these up.
Those are good, man. How you feeling about the Saucony resurgence right now? Because I know y'all really be like historians. Like, how you feel about it right now?
I like it. Part of me, just selfishly, I want credit for part of it. I know I probably have very little to do with it. I think it's more of like, oh, that's a Saucony. I think I heard Morgan or some guy on TikTok talk about Sauconys. All right, let's move on. You know what I mean? So I'm with it. I don't think that it'll hit its peak that it did back in 2014, 2015. But maybe that's just me being nostalgic as well.
I feel that. No, you really got skin in the game, so I respect it for sure.
Yeah. All right, what'd you wear today?
So the burgundy might be a giveaway, but actually und's these today. I und's the Nike Terminator. This is the Alabama A&M version for the 2023 Yard Runner campaign. Okay. So I put these on today. Shout out to Jennifer Gray. She was the designer on these. I got to meet her. So she was really cool. They did down here in Huntsville, this is where A&M is, where I live. So they did a release event down here. So the city really rallied behind the shoe, and I had never put them on feet. The brand was actually nice enough to send me the whole Yard Runner collection, which was incredible. But these were kind of, the special ones. So this was the first one out of the collection that I wore. So, that's what I had on today, and everything that y'all see me got on today. J-Tips hat. Shout to J-Tips always.
Yes.
That's what we did.
Shout out Alabama A&M alum Robert Mathis from the Indianapolis Colts.
There you go.
Oh,
there you go.
So you said Jennifer Gray. We talking about Jennifer Gray from Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Dirty Dancing?
Not quite.
But she's not designing sneakers.
Not quite. Not that I know of. I don't know if I'd want the shoe that she designed, but I'm just saying, man. Ferris Bueller, man, you taking me back now because I still need them dunks. I ain't gonna hold you. But,
hey, do you remember when they were going for? There was a used pair. What size you wear?
I'm a 9.
You're a 9. Okay, so there was a used like 10.5, 11 on GOAT for the longest time for like less than 100. Or less than 200, excuse me, less than 200. And then once Dunk started having their resurgence, I went straight back to GOAT trying to find them, and there was no chance.
Out of here.
No chance I was going to get those. Now people talking about it's a grail, and it's like, well, they were sitting for a long time. Where were you at? So
that's tough. I'm on eBay right now. How much y'all use eBay to find stuff? You use eBay a lot to get your shoes?
That's mostly it, man. I used to be primarily GOAT. I am 100% eBay right now.
Oh yeah, my brain just can't process the eBay, man. It just doesn't look good enough. Like I get on there and it just looks like, bro. Let me log out. So I just
Yeah.
never, I can just never get my mind together to like do it. I
Yeah.
can't.
It's like a big yard sale. It's like you do kind of
Yeah,
gotta. It's
Yeah.
hard to browse sometimes
yeah.
because it's a
It
lot.
is.
Yeah, I feel that. I
But
do
they
feel
sent
that.
me this. They sent me the. I got the
Oh, let's go. The top star.
Wow,
the top star joint. They sent me this,
Fire.
wow.
and
Your life
I was
just
like,
keeps getting better.
well, I didn't know what it was when they sent it to me. I had to ask Haas. I was like, they sent me this. I don't know what it is.
That's dope. That means
So
you
it
really
is.
be spending bread.
I'm not.
Yeah, yeah.
That means you really spend money on there
Look,
to get
I
that.
had I had my fiance like unbox it for me too, and like send me pictures
Oh
of
wow,
it.
that's
So
crazy.
I couldn't hide it from her at
Well, you
that
were ready
point.
to
That's
come home, wouldn't
amazing.
you?
But look, it came with this piece of art. I don't know if I'm supposed to take it out this cardboard thing, but
Oh
Is it
wow,
your size? Is it your size? Like, is it?
ooh, that
that's
would be.
wild.
I
That'd
doubt
That's a
it.
good
be
question.
that'd be
Good
dope if
question,
it
actually.
Hold
is.
on, I'm about to put it on my foot. You know what?
It is.
It is.
That's
Low
dope.
key.
That's dope.
It
Wow,
is my. It's my. I bet it's just a. It's got to be just a coincidence.
that's wild.
But it still got
That's
me no star loss.
yeah.
No heel drag.
No heel drag, no
No
star
drag
loss.
on there. No toe
Yeah.
drag.
I never heard star loss until recently. Has that been
Word.
around for a while?
I never till
loss.
recently.
Yeah, I'm not really super familiar with it. I had heard it a little while ago, but
Yeah.
typically I hear
What?
toe drag, heel drag, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard heel drag a lot.
Yeah, that's the only thing
Um,
I heard until like, hopping on TikTok and really getting into like sneaker creation. And
yeah.
then like whenever I looked at the stars, it was for like to like legit check. Because there was like a certain way that the stars were
Mhm.
supposed to go. And but other than that, yeah, star loss, I don't it sounds one of
like
those new
something else.
terms. Yeah, it's one of those new terms. It's kind of like, all right, we'll go with it.
I remember
Right.
I always wanted to see the insole of the shoe. I always wanted to see like what's the insole look like if I was buying a pair of used shoes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So Kari, what you're kind of known for? What your thing is? You put out what's the word? Kind of polarizing tweets about sneakers.
That's a good way
I
to
should
put
say
that.
this. I should say this. Your tweets have been polarizing.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I run into on social media is that people expect you to kind of fall into this character, right? So I basically want to know, like, what is the difference between like David in sneakers and Sneakerphetish in sneakers?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, so naturally, you have to sensationalize a bit on social media, right?
Mhm.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it's a big pot of people. And as someone that looks at sneakers as more than just a hobby, but a potential career choice and something that, you know, really can establish a person, you do have to look at things with a more strategic brain, right? And so because of that, what I like to do is I like to, first of all, I'm always just tapping into everything. One thing that I think does help, especially with Twitter, is the fact that Twitter is a little older audience. So they actually like to dialogue a lot and they like to read as opposed to Instagram, YouTube, stuff like that. They don't really read like that. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like it's easier to, you know, get on there and it kind of talk, tweet, you know, about different topics and stuff like that, just to kind of feel the pulse. Now, the other side of that is that the brands are also watching a lot on Twitter as well.
Mhm.
Now, a lot of people don't know this, but I'm going to give y'all this little bit of
Uh-oh.
tea or whatever. So, I actually had a job offer from Nike about 2 years ago, about two, maybe 3 years ago. And the job was basically to be a community manager for the sneakers app.
Mhm.
So basically, I was going to be in charge of choosing like who gets certain things, who gets featured on kick checks in like live streams, like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I turned it down. We couldn't really make the terms work or whatever, so I turned it down. But from there, I know that a lot of people from the brand always kind of started like watching me and like kind of following tweets or whatever as kind of a hub of like
Mhm.
hot topics and things like that. So again, thinking with the strategy brain, a lot of the tweets that I put out there, number one, are because they encourage a dialogue that I know other people are looking at, brands are looking at, media outlets are looking at, stuff like that. So that's kind of the difference, is that I think that people think that I'm a lot more obsessive about the sneaker world than I actually am. I'm actually quite passive. I actually let a lot of things kind of roll off my back. I mute a lot of tweets, by the way. Like, I say a lot of stuff. Once it starts going up, and then I've started going back and forth about it, I mute it and I kind of move on to the next thing. I'm like, I'm gonna let y'all just do what y'all do in the comments at that point. You know what I'm saying? So I will definitely say, I think that the sneaker fetish, online presence, is extremely obsessive about shoes, where I'm still a nerd. I still love sneakers. I still have a passion for them. But I think that people think that, like, I don't have a 9 to 5, which I do, like I work all day, you know what I'm saying? I got a regular job, and like people really they be like, man, bro, you need something else to do. I think it was, who's the YouTuber? Not Tripping. I'm gonna name names in here just so you know.
Yeah.
But like,
we all for it.
Not
We all
Tripping. He was the one. He wears the
Not
fakes,
Tripping.
right?
Yeah, he's the dude that wears the fakes.
He used to get on what was the Cam? He used to get on Cam's Kicks a lot.
Cam's Kicks. He still does.
He got old.
So,
he got old, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Facts. No, for real. So like, he did a video and he was just shitting on me crazy. You know what I'm saying? He was like, oh, this guy doesn't have anything better to do with his day than sit on Twitter all day long and talk about shoes, and you need to go outside and do something. Like, dude, like, I'll really be sitting back drinking tea half the time, just like looking at the timeline, like, they are wilding out today. So like, I think that's the major difference, between me. Like, I'm a whole person. I have other interests outside of sneakers. I like lots of other things outside of shoes. People think I don't like anything else but shoes. I'm like, no, I'm into plenty of stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think people think I'm a lot more obsessive than I actually am, man. So I think that's a big thing. But yeah, I mean, it just, there's a strategy involved with everything. But I think that in terms of strategy, you have to make sure that, like, how can I say this? Okay, I'm going to say this, but then there's a caveat to it. So like, people can't know that there's a strategy behind what you're doing. And what I mean by that is, like, everything that I say, I mean, right? There is a reason, and sometimes 2 or 3 or 4 reasons, outside of just me wanting to know something or me wanting to know how people feel about something. You know what I mean? So like, I think that's kind of where, what the major difference is between the two. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I feel like with the audience, the audience naturally not really dehumanizes us, but they kind of paint us into characters, and and the characters are very one-dimensional. So anytime I talk about anything other than sneakers, it's like, stick to sneakers, shoe boy,
Shut up and dribble. Always.
Yeah, shut up and dribble for sure.
Always. I get that same thing.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. I definitely get that. Us needing to create engagement with, to kind of cast the net as wide as possible with our content to kind of influence as many people as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And I, and to your point, I've told people, even if you try to transition, your content, like, the audience is so adverse to change, man. Like, they're so slow to come in. So you have to kind of tiptoe into it. We did a Twitter space the other day with Tony D2 Wild. Shout out to Tony. And he was actually asking us, like, about his content, because I think that he's kind of in a space where a lot of, like, YouTubers are right now, where it's like the audience of yesteryear has now grown up. A lot of them want to be resellers, right? And they're trying to figure out new ways to create, and new things to do, but they don't want to be cringe. They don't want to do those emojis, and stuff like those faces on the thumbnails. They want to make something that's organic and authentic, but they're trying to switch it up. And it's really hard to do, man, because so many people, to your point, are like, nah, this ain't it. This ain't what you do. Just do that thing that you do, man. And I'm like, I promise I'm more than this, man. So
I can tell you, I'm guilty of that. Even today, I saw, I got a notification on my phone for Tony D2 Wild, his gun channel, right?
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah.
guns, but I'm sitting there looking at it like, nah, bro. You're like, you need to go back to sneakers. I'm not, you know what I mean? And I haven't watched the Tony D2 Wild video in so long, but I'm like, who do you think you are, man? Like, you're the sneaker guy. But I've seen so
Yeah.
many of these YouTubers kind of pivot into other avenues. I mean,
Yep.
were you on sneaker YouTube heavy? I imagine.
Oh, heavily,
Yeah,
man. Yeah. I've been,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So I've seen the
So
phases.
yeah, like T Blake, he went from. I mean, he did he get into like crypto or
Crypto. Yeah.
he
A
got
couple
into
of those guys
crypto.
did. Mhm.
And then like Tony D2 Wild with he was doing the stuff with his girl, and then now he's into
Yeah.
guns.
He had the couples channel, the guns channel, Sniper Jones, right? And he
Yeah,
started doing skits, and
yeah.
stuff like that, funny skits and stuff. And
DJ Dells, he started doing wrestling stuff.
Dales did
Um,
wrestling. Seth Fowler made a tech channel.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like I'm seeing it happen, and even on TikTok, I'm starting to see um some other sneaker people. They're pivoting. I mean, they're pivoting to fashion, which kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I can see that.
But even like we're talking about it now, like a Seattle sneaker guy, right? He's starting to do more fashion stuff, and when he comes across my For You page, I'm like, bro, just put the sneakers on, bro. Like I'm here for sneakers. I'm not trying to see how, you know what I mean? So I'm guilty of it.
Yeah.
I am guilty of it as a consumer as much as I am as much as I'm
So
against that. Yeah, go ahead.
my question to you guys, like, um, how do you feel about it? So let's say you got someone that kind of got their stardom from sneaker culture and sneaker content creation, and now they're pivoting because sneakers is pretty much like a dead trend right now. Like there's not a lot of people are not really checking for it. The resale platforms, resale market is what it is. So now a lot of people are just going to the next hot thing. So how do y'all feel about that? Does it kind of change your outlook on those people that you enjoy watching, or?
That's a good question.
I take what, Morgan, you want to go first, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to stumble through this. Because I as I've gotten older, I am realizing that people are human beings are complicated, and we are more than just one dimension, right? Like we're multidimensional. And with my big brain, like I understand that, and I can look at somebody who is pivoting content into something that they're interested in or something else that they're interested in, as long as it's still authentic. I understand that from an intellectual level. But as a primitive human being, I don't want to see the change, right? Just like Kari was saying earlier, we're adverse to change. So it's kind of conflicted as where if I think about it, and I understand why people would say, oh, you know what, I'm tired of talking about sneakers. These are my other interests. Like I'm interested in tennis and pickleball. I'm interested in sports in general, right? I can't turn my page into a sports page because it's like I don't have that. That's not how I came up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not how I got to where I'm at now.
Right.
I could talk all day about sports, but I feel like it would have a poor reaction. So I'm kind of split on it.
That's fair. Yeah, man, to kind of piggyback off of that, like, I'll tell you, I think that the space that we're in right now, that is a good question too, Flex. I think that the space that we're in right now it's really stretching people's creativity. And I think that when it comes to sneakers, a lot of creators are a slave to the product. And what I mean by that is they let the product determine the content instead of their personality kind of shining through and trying to find. So I'll tell you what I try to do, right, is I try to find, ways, and I look for ways in other creators where they can start feeding us bits and pieces of things within, their existing content. But again, it's got to be done in a creative manner. But a lot of people, they get a shoe. Hey, here's my shoe. And this shoe is the star, right? It's the star of the show. So when you don't have this, you got nothing. That's how a lot of creators feel.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily the case though, because you're still you. You're still a whole person. So I try to create content where people enjoy both the product and the personality, because as the personality shifts, people may follow the personality as well as follow the product. I think about it like a vlogger, like Casey Neistat. I don't know if y'all know. Do y'all know who that is? Casey Neistat?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Casey, he's a big blogger. Okay. So Casey Neistat, big blogger. He did a vlog every day back in like 2015, blew up his channel, millions of subscribers on his channel, right? But the cool thing about him was that people loved him. So it didn't matter what he did. If he was traveling, he did sneaker videos. Nike came to his studio and he debuted the Nike mag right before they did the auction. And he did a whole video about it. It was crazy. So like he's done, shoe related stuff, all these different things. He had a big video where he when Louis Vuitton Supreme was big, Morgan, you probably remember this. Remember, he got the bag and it was fake. And he like went on a trip and he trashed the bag. And people were going crazy. And at the end of the video, he was like, oh, by the way, the bag was fake. But like, people love him. So he can do anything in any genre because people love him, the personality. You know what I mean? So like, but I'm going to tell you though, on the flip side of that, you have people like Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD, right? He, as big as he is with the millions of subscribers that he has, he's kind of a slave to the product. He's a tech guy. People know him for tech. So if he starts popping out talking about he went to an Ultimate Frisbee game, people ain't watching that.
Yeah.
Because he's a tech guy. So it's like, so if you want to be able to make evergreen content and content that translates across niches, you have to try to figure out a way for people to like you. Like as a person. And unfortunately in sneakers, I'm just gonna say it, a lot of people don't really have no personality for real outside of the shit.
Golly.
So that's
how much we talk about.
Man. That's offline.
You don't know how much we talk about. Yeah, you don't know how much we talk about it, man. But I mean, to keep it simple, man, I don't like it. I don't like to see someone get somewhere because of something and then just drop it off. And that's just my mindset and kind of like what I was raised on, loyalty before royalty. And that pretty much like, even though I'm pivoting to other things, I'm still tying in sneakers. So like I'm a big wrestling fan. So I'm doing sneakers and wrestling. Or I want to start vlogging, so I do Wear Your Kicks. So like I'm vlogging, I'm showing you what I'm doing, but I'm also showing you what pairs I have.
Right.
Or like I'm doing the biggest flex where I'm telling you about the sneaker, but I'm also working on my storytelling skills. So it's kind of like I'm never gonna leave sneakers, but I'm also gonna try other things. That's how I see it.
I like
bringing
that
them together.
And I think what you're talking about is, I mean, we've seen people who we can name names if we want to name names, but people who have kind of hit the lottery with their sneaker content, they're not necessarily into sneakers, or they weren't into sneakers until it became cool to be into sneakers. And now you see they've kind of milked that cow and they're moving on to something else. I think that's kind of what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. That's more of that's how I feel. Yeah.
No, that's real. That's happening out here. But I think about, just the two of y'all, man, and I see the way that y'all are moving. Man, I love it. Like, Flexx, to your point, man, you can do, like, y'all don't, like, people really don't understand how many opportunities there are out there if you really can leverage your platform and do it the right way. Like Flexx, with you could do, top sneaker moments in wrestling. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, somebody was just talking about, who was it that had on the Travis Scotts recently? I forget who it was. Flexx, I'm sure you know.
It was Dominique Mysterio. He had on the mochas.
Yeah, the mochas. Yep, the highs. Yep. So like you could tap in with that. Morgan, listen, your love of tennis, dog, there's major things going on right now with Roger Federer, you know what I'm saying? With like all that kind of stuff. I mean, and the cool thing about it is that, and this is why I do try to tell people to tap in with Twitter if they can. Because with Twitter, like I said, the brands are there, but also the journalists are there as well. So like one of the cool things I've been able to do is to get into Nice Kicks and Wall Street Journal and all this kind of stuff, because these journalists that write about sneakers, they're looking for voices so that they can amplify these articles they're working on. So like Flexx, if you start talking about this stuff, you never know, like you really dig into it more. Somebody, hey, my name is such and so. I'm with Wall Street Journal. I'm with Forbes. I'm with GQ. Do you mind if I grab you for a quote? Now you out of here. Now you're getting quoted in these things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, but that happens when you bring more of those passions in together, especially things that y'all are passionate about, because you're experts in those things. Like y'all could talk circles around me when it comes to wrestling, sports, tennis, like, you know what I'm saying? So like those things that y'all know y'all are passionate about, the sky's the limit, low key. But again, if you're creative, which y'all are, thank goodness,
Right.
we need some more like y'all.
Thank you. So basically what you're saying is you don't want to see what's coming out on sneakers this week.
Bruh, like, come on, man. Like, please with that. Like, we got it. We know it's coming. We know it's coming out. Like, and everybody's like, oh, sneakers are so saturated. And, I don't really know how to differentiate myself. Like, I'm like, listen, everybody's different.
Yeah.
I think that the reason why a lot of people say, I don't really know how to differentiate myself is because they're not being true to themselves, right? Because if you're being true to yourself, you are an individual. You're going to bring something different to the table regardless. So if you're struggling with like, I don't really know how to carve out a lane for myself within sneakers, it means you're trying to be like somebody else. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just because it looked like it worked. I tell people all the time, I was in a game making videos nobody paid attention to for the better half of a decade before anybody even looked in my direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes time. You got to trust the process. But who am I? I don't know.
Somebody recently, I saw them, they said, they're putting out 6 videos a day, right? And I started thinking about it, and
It's rough.
I know. I started thinking about it. I'm thinking about my content versus other people's content, and I'm like, I could put out 6 easy videos a day. It could be, and
Easy.
I mean, one thing I've started doing, I'll take a video of my shoes and then just point the camera up and just say, hey, this is where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? Like no words or anything, just little stuff like that. To kind of remind people that like, hey, like we're outside, we're doing things, like this is where I'm wearing my shoes. It's a gas station. It's I'm on a tennis court right now. You know what I mean? Just something simple like that. I think that, like you said, if you are true to yourself, the content comes easy. At first I was trying to do, Sean Go?
Oh yeah.
One of my absolute favorite YouTubers right now.
Yeah, he's
absolute
dope. Shout out to
favorite
Sean.
because he is just straight up black and white. This is the shoe. These are the details. The off feet. Everything that I want to see. That's everything I want to see. And and he talks about the shoes that I like. He'll do the hype stuff, and then he'll do the freshwater West NYC. Those came out.
Absolutely.
Right. And so I like his stuff. So I was trying to make my stuff sound like his at the very beginning. If you go to my pinned videos on TikTok, you'll see the day one of like 365 days of sneakers. And it's very cut and dry, black and white. This is the shoe. This is this is what it's reselling for. I didn't even care about the resale. This is what it's inspired by. And then I had one of my friends, one of my military buddies said, I hate the way you sound in these videes. Because it doesn't sound like me. Right? I was trying to sound like Sean Go, but like really I'm a trash talker. I'm going to say reckless stuff to people. Like that's who I really am. So that's how my content started shifting. And I've kind of found a nice little groove where I'm at now.
Yeah, I love that. I'm going to tell y'all, man, I love the camaraderie that y'all have on TikTok. Like that's not like any other platform out here. Like y'all y'all rag on each other, y'all shit on each other, but it's love. Like that's the thing, like always. It's love at the end of the day. And like, man, listen, you try that on Twitter, man, somebody gonna get in their feelings, somebody gonna curse you out. Like they are not going for that on there, man, because everybody on Twitter is grabbing at attention. Everybody's grabbing for engagement, grabbing for likes. So it's like a lot of people, they don't want to do that camaraderie thing because they're too busy trying to step on each other's backs so that they can be the new Sajid call and the new sneaker mayor, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case is, they want to be the one out here. And so shoot, last year I was like, y'all got it, y'all can have it. Like I'm not trying to compete with y'all out here. Like, so y'all on TikTok, y'all do a great job of that for real. I love that. I'll be on here just lurking.
I feel like the best content comes out when you stop trying. When you let the other people have it, because when I started like trying to compete, because I was getting frustrated with like, let's say people talking about what's coming out next week. I will make the same video, get less viewership, everything. Then the next person will do it and like 500,000 views, and I'm like, bro, I did it better. I gave you better insight. I gave you details.
Talk that shit,
bro. I was getting
He's
so
right,
frustrated.
though.
I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take a deep breath, back up, go back to the drawing board, and just be me, man. You know, and I just tied it into my whole content, man. Who I am, even though my name is like Flexx Luther, bro. Like I subtle flex. I'm not one of these people that come out like you ain't got this. You know, I got this chain. No, bro. Like I'm not that. Like I'm gonna put something nice on, and you're gonna see and be like, oh, okay. You know, bro, pocket's straight. All right, I like it.
I'm the
opposite.
Yeah. Look, see, like I ain't gonna drop and be like, "Hey, bro, I spent this. And you ain't got these. You ain't got these." Nah, I ain't gonna do that.
Morgan gonna flex on you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. And you know what though? Because I was trying to find a way to get more engagement on the app, and this was before I knew who Flexx was. I was trying to get more engagement, and I was talking about I'm the most diverse sneaker collection. You know, I've got this. You've never seen these before. Your favorite sneaker TikToker doesn't have these. And then he started responding to me, and I'm like, this is what I need. Like, I need this back and forth. I need this trash talking. And like, we immediately, like right off the bat, like it was, I mean, we made it work. It was great because like, that's who I am. Like out in public, if like, I'm a trash talker on the tennis court. Like,
there you go.
That's not something. That's not a place where it happens. Like, I am. You know, I just like having these little beefs, and people think it's so serious too. But it's just we're just talking to each other. You know,
definitely ours. Definitely ours. We will have people in our comments like, "Yeah, man, Morgan's this, Morgan that." I'm like, bro, chill. We cool. Like,
relax.
We're cool. Like, we're not beefing for real, man.
Right.
But I think the reason why it worked was because like, even though like I'm a chill person, like if I'm gonna match your energy. So like, if you want to go that way, we can go that way. If you want to chill out, we can chill out. But I still feel like I have the most diverse sneaker collection. I did win a live event. Sorry, Morgan. Most diverse. You know, it has to be said. You know, people have spoken. The people, not me.
The people said it.
No, he had people in the live. He had people in the live who still use their fingers and toes to count, trying to keep score.
Yo. You know what I'm gonna start calling you? I'm gonna start calling you Morgan McEnroe. That's your new nickname.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Because I don't know nobody that talks that shit like you be talking it outside of Bad Boy Johnny. So
look, it's the internet. What are we gonna? It's the internet, right? Like,
that's a fact, though.
I mean? That's
a fact, though.
On Twitter, do you have anybody? Because Twitter is where I'm at the least, right? I go there for news. In fact, that is where I follow like the high school tennis team page, right? Like, is that type of stuff.
Got you.
So do you have anybody on there who you just constantly beefing with? Or is there anybody whose content you that you look to kind of bounce off of? Or is it just you?
You mean beef like actual beef or beef like it's love?
Either way.
I was like, because we can go either way with that. How much time y'all got?
We got
time.
I got time.
We got time.
I got time.
It might get spicy in here.
Hey, link in the bio. Link in the bio.
I'm gonna try to keep it light. So okay. So one guy I know that a lot of people give him a hard time, but it really is love, is a guy named Craig. Craig No Ice Cube is his Twitter name. He's a good dude. He got back into sneakers around 2020, right around COVID. So people give him some shit for being a COVID baby. You know how it go. But he really is a passionate dude. He lives actually in Portland. So he's out there in Oregon, you know, hobnobbing with people, stuff like that. But he really is a passionate guy. But, you know, he's one of those types of people where, you know, when we get into Twitter spaces and stuff, like, a lot of people are like, it starts to feel like it becomes more about him. And it's like about his content and about him trying to find his identity and about him finding his lane. So like, that's the thing about it. You know what I'm saying? And I know that a lot of people kind of give him a hard time because they're like, oh, your content looks like Kari's, or, oh, your content looks like this guy's or that guy's, you know? And so, he's like, well, a shoe is a shoe, y'all. I'm trying to figure it out. But it really is love. So like he'll text me on the side and be like, bro, what the fuck? And I'm like, nah, yo, it's love. I promise it's all love, bro, for real. So yeah, he's one. Now, people I really got a problem with.
Let's go.
Man, listen. Hey, first of all, I'm gonna tell you, because I'm waiting on a lot of smoke from a lot of people. But the main person I'll probably say is like an issue for me right now is this dude that goes by LA3. I think his real name is Mike, even though he probably doesn't want people to know his real name, but I know his real name because
we putting governments out here.
I know a lot of people that know him. He's one of those people where he does this a lot in all his pictures and stuff. Okay. So like, but he like a sneaker mayor type guy, wants to be the sneaker mayor type, you know, likes to be mysterious so that mysteriousness kind of makes people like him more, I guess, or whatever. But to me, it just comes across as cringe. So I had to end up blocking him because I felt like he was like super condescending. So he's one of those types of people where he would always like quote tweet my tweets to try to like make me look dumb, like to try to like sun me. And I know that a lot of people do that because they feel like, well, if I can take this dude Kari down, then I'll be the guy. You know what I'm saying? Because Kari got 45,000 followers on Twitter. So it's like, if I can embarrass him and make him look crazy, and get the Kari hate train running, then I can come in and take you. Like, dog, you cannot be me. You cannot take that spot. Like, be you. But like the stuff that he puts out there, man, it's just like more annoying than productive. Like, that's my whole thing. Like, are you adding value, bro? Like, and that's a lot of people that I've had a lot of back and forth with on Twitter because you're not adding value, So it's like, for me, no matter how much shit I talk, no matter how many bad takes I have, I promise you, between the content, the history, the stories, the stuff that I'm doing out there, I'm going to do my best for that to outweigh any of the negativity, you know what I'm saying, on there, because I always want to add that value. But when you have a lot of people out here that just want to flex or they talk real cryptic and, oh man, y'all not going to like this drop, follow me and tag 2 friends for more. Shut up, please. Like, stop it. Stop it. Like, stop it. Like, people keep doing that. I don't know about this one. ... Like, just tell us what you're trying to say, man.
Right.
Please.
Are you up? Are you guys up? Your notifications on? Your notifications on?
Tap in. Yo, like, man, come on, man. Stop it. So it's him. And then, unfortunately, man, really unfortunately, I had an unspoken falling out with Z Sneakerheads, of all people. And I was a fan of Z. I was a fan of Z, and I actually spoke on this when I did the other podcast, but like, so what happened was, Ian too from Private Selection. He's a clown. But anyway, the big dude from Private Selection.
Didn't they just, they just have some trouble, right?
We having trouble.
We got to talk about Private Selection because I definitely got my take on them.
Man,
go ahead and finish your story. You got to finish your story. We move there.
So real quick. So, Ian and me, we would trade shots a lot because, he'd be like, oh, none of our shoes are fake. And I know people who know his guys. I've seen messages between him and these replica dealers. I've seen a lot of stuff that he doesn't know that I know. But in any event, whatever. You want everybody to think all your shoes are legit, fine, whatever. I don't care, whatever. So we're trading some shots back and forth or whatever. And he's like, well, that's why, you be bigging up Z Sneakerheads all the time. And he don't give a shit about you neither. Here's the screenshots. And he tweets out these screenshots of these texts between him and Z. And it's like, that guy, yeah, he this, he that. Yeah, he blah, 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 blah. Yeah, man, da. So I'm like,
nasty business.
So it was nasty, bro. He deleted the tweet. I think Z told him to delete it. But
I bet he did.
I had to unfollow Z. Z unfollowed me back. And he used to tap in with me. Like, Z would tap in with me. Like, he was on Full Size Run. I was bigging him up. Yo, like, looking forward to linking with you in person. Yeah, bro, same. Stuff like that. But, like, the whole time you shitting on me like this to him of all people? Nah, that's crazy. And then when everything came to light, I would have respected you more if you had came to me about it. Like, if you'd have just owned it and been like, yeah, bro, that was it. But bro said nothing. Like, he didn't say anything. He just unfollowed me and never said a word about it. Like, I don't have no respect for that. So, yeah, man, but that just, these guys, Twitter's the trenches, bro. So it
sounds like the trenches, man. It sounds like a place I would thrive. I would thrive for
yo,
real.
you would. I'm not gonna hold you.
Morgan, you got it. Because my social
Look,
battery, nah, bro.
here's the only
Good.
thing though, is that these kids follow me, man. Like these tennis
Oh yeah,
kids,
true. Yeah,
they follow
That's a
me,
good point.
and I have
That's
to
a good
be
point.
I have to be a role model now. 10 years
absolutely.
ago, ooh, 10 years ago,
Over.
before I was a role model,
Bro, 10 years ago, I didn't even have a working phone bill. My phone bill was $40, and it was a little add a little
oh,
minutes
you
on
had a
there.
cricket. You
There
got
you
a
go.
cricket.
I love it. The prepaid.
No, what was
I
it?
love
Page
it.
Plus, Page Plus.
Oh
But
man.
no, but I think I don't know what was episode 3, episode 4. I was like, man, we was talking about a topic, and it was about all these big platforms or these big pages or these big influencers that we're hearing that they have fake pairs, and
Yeah.
it's been proven that they have fake pairs, and like all the OG sneakerheads, the new sneakerheads just look past it. It's just like, oh, well, it is. It's it's
Hey,
private
he's
selection.
smart, bro. He's a
Yep.
Yeah,
genius. He's a financial
yeah, bro.
genius.
Yeah, bro.
Yep.
Bro, you don't understand. You gotta come to the city, bro. Be putting it on. Okay, that's cool, but
Right.
there's just this proof, like it's concrete proof. Like, all right, so we're just
Right
gonna
there.
we're gonna look past it. Yeah,
Yep.
this private selection, and I've tried to bring this conversation up many times, and people just kind of like,
Nah,
just walk
I'm
off
with you.
Don't
like,
want to talk about it.
we ain't
They don't
talking
want to talk
about
about
that.
it. Hey man, listen, I offered for them. I said, listen, if y'all are confident, because I would always press them. So here's the deal. I got a little bit of history with those guys. I used to live in Dallas. I lived in Dallas
Okay.
2014 and 2015. So I was around when sneakers were, really bubbling down there and stuff. So I bought a pair of DB3s. Larry don't remember this, but Larry, he's one of the 3 partners at Private Selection. He sold me a pair of DB3s. Them DB3s were fakes. So I took them back to the store he's working at. The store was called Collective Status. And I took him back, and we had some words back and forth about, oh man, I don't know what happened, bro. A football player brought him in, man. One of the Cowboys. These were his pairs, and blah 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 blah. Whatever, man. They're fake. I'm gonna need you to run me my bread. He ran me my bread back. But like ever since then, they did a podcast too, and they were like, yeah, back in the day, we wore fake everything. We wore fake jewelry, we wore fake watches, we wore fake jerseys because we were trying to pretend that we had it to build our clout up. That's on the podcast. Like I have a clip. It's on YouTube right now. Those guys telling their origin story. And they said everything that they used to wear back in the day was totally fake. Well, how am I supposed to automatically believe now? Whatever. So we're in a space. Ian pops up into this Twitter space. And I told him, I said, okay, listen, here's the deal. Sell me one of your early birds. Sell me one of your early bird sneakers. Because you notice they never sell the shoes. I said, sell me one of your early birds. I said, now here's the deal. We'll take one of the early birds. If the shoe is legit, I will get on here in front of 45,000 people and I will say, all right, y'all, legit. They're legit. And I'll pay for them. If they're not legit, I'll contact the feds for selling me a counterfeit good and let them come and prosecute you. I said, now that should be easy money.
Right.
That should be easy money, right? If your shoes are legit. If shoes are legit, shouldn't be a problem. If they're 100% legit, you stand behind your product. Shoes are, man, why you blah, 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 blah. So then Tony came in, and even Tony D was like, all right, Ian, well then why don't you just let him borrow a shoe? He was like, Kari has a platform. He's not going to run off on your shoe. Like, he's not, just let him borrow a shoe and legit check it and everything like that. Nah, man, we not going to blah, blah, blah. My homeboy was in the space. He was like, okay, because Ian just popped up with the Travis Olives, the new joints that don't come out till like the end of this year. And he popped up with them. And so he was like, dog, I work for Nike. I got some connects. On the humble, can you send me a couple of photos? Oh, yeah, man, no problem. Y'all think he ever sent them pictures?
No.
No, sir. Sure didn't. Never sent them. So, like, but I get it. They got a lot of clout around them, and clout sells, man. Clout turns fake stuff real every day.
Yep. Clout has everybody, covering up their face, looking the other way. That is simple as that, and it's crazy to me because like a couple years ago, man, like fakes was just that. It was a no-go. Like, bro, I don't care. Like, I don't care who you were. I don't care where you came from. If you had on fake pay, you lost credibility everywhere. I can't believe what you say. Like, you telling lies, bro.
Right.
Like, the next time you wear something that's nice, it's probably fake, bro. Don't even fool
that part,
bro. Fake.
That part. Listen.
But now it's kind of like he's his own person and he's saving money. He's a millionaire, bro.
He's smart.
Yeah, like
hey, he's smart.
Yeah, what does that got to do with anything? If you're doing something illegal, it's not smart.
Why would I pay $6,000 for a shoe that costs 30 cents to make? Like,
so you can stay a free man. That's why.
You know what I mean?
What I'm
You can stay your ass
so
out
you
of
can stay a
jail.
free. So you can stay a free man. What are you talking about? But
Listen,
nobody sees that.
to be clear, I don't think we're talking about like being got, right? Like, I've been got for fakes.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I mean,
Like,
that's
same.
I had some fake Johnny Kilroys I didn't know were fake until I tried to sell them to somebody. Then I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry. Like, get rid of them. I don't want them back." I just lost on that. Right?
Jeez.
I had a homeboy just recently. Well, it wasn't just recently, but I just found out recently that he sold me a pair of fake Off-White Air Max 90s. Yeah, and so at that point, it's like, well, hey, they're fake. I got. What can I do?
Yeah.
So we're not talking about that. We're talking about knowingly wearing replica sneakers and trying to treat it as like some sort of redeemable quality. Like I think it's a personality flaw. Personally, I think it's a personality flaw. But
I know you remember when I was like, I can't trust. Like, it says a lot about your character when you wear fakes, and people were just like, how can you tell, bro? Like, if you're lying about something as simple as a pair of shoes, how can I trust you? Like, how can I trust for anything that you're saying? Because this is just shoes. This is just that's it. And you're telling me, oh, I didn't even know what these it.
Yeah.
How can I trust anything else you say when there's other things on the line? I can't trust it. It tells me a lot about who you are and what you're trying to prove. You know what I'm saying? That means you're trying to get in front of everybody and like, oh, I'm this person. But on the back end, you ask me, can I borrow your jeans? You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, let me borrow those. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but a lot of people, they just go past it. Yeah, bro, let me borrow them. I don't, no, bro, you're not wearing my jeans. No.
That's crazy. No, that's crazy.
No.
That's crazy. No, I get it. I'm right there with you, man. And I got a brother too, and I used to do the same thing with him, But man, I do feel you though. Like trying to perpetrate out here like you got it like that. And you notice it's always the heat. It's always the heat. That's the replica stuff. But people be like, I don't care about none of that. I don't care about that. I'm not trying to get looks
I like how the shoe looks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I feel
exactly.
But I do. I got one more. We got one more question for you. I know you talked about the opportunities that are available and what we do, and we have a group chat, and I brought this question up to them, and I want to ask you, what did you do to take your content to the next level? Like, what did you do to get people watching and really tapping in with you, as far as like brands and the audience as well?
Great question, man. Great question. The first thing that I did, and this kind of came internally, man, because it was kind of hard, man, because a lot of people were complimenting my content, even the old content. When I first started my YouTube channel, I always kind of hated the way that the videos look, but I work with what I got. You know what I'm saying? I had my phone, I had, some cheap lights and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm gonna just do what I can do until I can grow. And people were like, oh no, I love your videos, man. You da-da-da-da. But there was like one person, man, that came to me and was like, well, you might want to think about upping the quality of your videos so that it matches, kind of the quality of your content, because you're saying good stuff, but the video quality isn't quite hitting on the same cylinders. And so from there, I'm gonna tell you the biggest thing I did was I invested in myself, man. But a lot of people sound super cliche, but I'm gonna be very specific about it. So I knew that I needed to upgrade the quality of my video. I knew that meant probably a new camera, some better lighting, some better audio. So when I tell you, now we talk about being obsessive. I was very obsessive about cameras, lenses, like audio equipment, lighting. The big major thing that got me, working with the brands and stuff like that was upping the quality of those videos. Brands like content that they can immediately share that looks like the rest of the content across their socials. So the more professional, quote unquote, now use that term loosely, you can make your videos look, because you can finesse it. But the more professional you can make them look, the more people will pay attention to you, and the more seriously people will take you, right? The less amateur your stuff looks, you know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, even audio. I mean, y'all got audio right now, like Flexx, your microphone, fire. Your audio quality, very, very good. You know what I'm saying? So like, you already understand. Like, I can tell you understand the importance of having quality equipment. So that was the big thing for me. Honestly, on top of that, it was waiting my turn, bro. Like, and that's what I say. Like, the problem with like Twitter and like a lot of these like social media, I mean, even TikTok to an extent, everybody wants to be famous tomorrow.
Right.
Like, everybody wants to be popping and get their brand deals right now. Like, yo, I made 3 videos this month, bro. Nike, Jordan brand, holla at me, send me some shoes, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, it don't work like that. Like, people did not care about stories until they got broke and the sneaker market took a nosedive and there was nothing left but the stories. Yeah. But I had to sit through, I had to sit through the private selections and the common hypes and all these guys skyrocketing on YouTube out of nowhere because everybody was blowing money like crazy and resale was dominating all content. You know, I had to wait my turn, man. Like, I had to just be like, I'm not going to step outside of it. And this is really what it comes down to when it comes to trusting the process. Those are my favorite 3 words, man. Trust the process and enjoy and learn to love the process. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to fall in love with the process. But like, like eventually people started coming back around and being like, okay, well, resale is cooling down. Views are down on that resale stuff. But this guy is still making this engaging stuff that makes people still interested in getting these shoes because now there's a different part of that sneaker to connect to, which is the story and the feeling, you know? So outside of how much money it's worth, well, now I want you to buy the shoe and wear it because it matters. And this is why that shoe matters. You know what I'm saying? So like that for me, it was just staying consistent, even when it was in a dry spell, because I promise you, all of it is temporary. If it's a dry spell, it's temporary, bro. I'm telling you. But like that, and then upping the quality, I learned about lenses. I learned about aperture. I learned about shutter speeds on cameras. I learned about all of that to make the videos look super, super professional. And it's crazy because what you realize is that when you have the right equipment, you don't even need much. I use one light. That's my light right there. Yeah. That's my only light I use for my videos all the time. I had like 6 lights I was using before. And the video still looked like trash. But I got rid of all of that stuff. Got one camera body, one lens, one light, one microphone, and I got an audio. I got a Zoom H6 that I feed the audio into to feed into the camera. That's it. That's the whole setup. So, but you know, when you learn how to work it right, your equipment right, you know, and you make it look a certain way, it's off to the races. You ready to roll?
Yeah. I can tell you.
I really hope.
Go ahead.
I really hope Morgan is taking some notes because I think all the time. Bro is super underrated, and I feel like it's all because of the quality of his video. Because like he gives these like detailed, complex videos, like his Red Boots video. I feel like it's the best video. He talks about like the boots are looking and reminiscing on why they're not being worn and stuff like that. If the quality of that video would have been better, that easily, I feel like it would have took off.
Yeah, and Morgan does a lot of green screen, and there's a place for green screen. Green screen still does well. It still goes viral, and I love it. You know, and everything like that. For me, like for review based videos, like people want that detail. That's why I kind of shoot the way that I shoot. But you know, everything has its place. But but Flexx, to your point, man, like, you know, just like trying to do what you can, you know, constantly, you know, kind of reevaluating like how do things look, and you know, how do I make it look a little better, make it a little more engaging, stuff like that. Because Morgan, you are fire, bro. I watch your stuff all the time.
I appreciate it, man. I definitely appreciate it. I can tell you before we get to the showcase, because I know this one's running a little bit long, but this has been a fire conversation. It's gone by so quickly. I know that last year, I think Flexx and I think we're kind of admitting it now, not so much last year, but we were looking at trying to make more money off of our content, and it stopped becoming fun. I think we both realized that it stopped becoming fun. We kind of had this thought, these thoughts independently of one another. And this year, I know we're very early in the year, but this year, I'm not really super focused on trying to get a check off of this. I'm going back to having fun, and I'm just finding so much more. It's becoming so much more enjoyable. Even though this is, I'm we're doing a weekly podcast now and editing videos, and my editing has gotten better just by just messing around with stuff. It's just become so much more fun when it felt like a chore last year, and the quality of my content kind of fell off, and I wasn't posting as much as I was before because it started to suck to do. So you hit I imagine you probably hit a spell like that at some point.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah, man. No, I absolutely hit that wall, man. I never forget, man. I had like 4 brand campaigns that came in back to back, and it was great. I had a Foot Locker campaign, and then I had I had a Foot Locker campaign, and then I had an eBay job that I did down at SneakerCon. That was a pay gig. And then I did another eBay campaign, and then I got a partnership with Twitter. And then I did an Athlete's Foot campaign. So it was like all this stuff like back to back to back.
Yeah.
And it's cool money. Like it was good money. They were paying well, and I appreciate it. But man, did I burn out, because the Twitter partnership alone, I had to do 2. It was when they just started Twitter Spaces. And so they found creators that they wanted to work with. And so they paid you kind of this monthly stipend to do 2 Twitter Space shows, quote unquote, per week. And so it was rough, man. It was rough on me. And so to your point, I'm gonna tell you what happens at that point is that you become so inundated with the metrics and the numbers and trying to hit, these thresholds and these things. And the brands put that pressure on you too, because that's what they want to see, because they want to know they're getting a return on their investment. So they're hitting you with like, that's written in the brief. Like, after you're done, show us your metrics, and you have to screenshot this stuff and send to them. You have to wait for them to like be like happy with it or not, to whether wonder whether or not you're going to get paid again. But to your point, what you realize is happening is that, number one, you become kind of a shell of yourself, and you're no longer having fun with it. You're forcing it. And I remember a guy, Juan Wilson. He's a customizer. He's a good dude, great dude, very talented. He showed me one time. He said, I see how tired you are in your videos. He was like, I can tell you're not having fun with it anymore. And I was like, damn, man, like you could tell that. Like he could see the frustration in it. And so honestly, it took me losing all that stuff. Like it took a dry spell, because it was like all that stuff was coming in, and then it just fell off. Yeah. Because what happened was like SneakerCon and stuff, they started going to like the younger kids that were working for no money. Sorry, a little bit of tea, a little more tea. Those people that you see doing SneakerCon content, they don't get paid for that. So,
I heard about it. Yeah.
They don't get paid
for the room and the ticket, right?
Pay for the room and your ticket. So they transitioned to those guys. So it was like, once they transitioned to them, well, we don't need y'all no more. Like, we ain't need to pay y'all no more. So like the money kind of stopped. So I was like, well, damn, I got nothing left. I may as well just get back to doing what I do, which is telling these stories, man, and having fun with it again. And that's when you really start finding the fun. So for me, it took me losing a lot, in order to have fun with it. But the funny part was that in having fun with it, Morgan, to your point, came out with much more engaging content that got way more opportunities after that. Yeah. So like, you got to remember to just have fun with it. Just have fun, bro. It's just shoes at the end of the day.
Right.
Just got to have fun.
Right. Well, with that being said, man, Flexx, did you have anything to add?
Yeah, man, just having fun with it. I mean, if you just go and look at my TikTok, I feel like that's my main platform. I still like do all my videos on Instagram, YouTube, all together. But I put most of my work in on TikTok. And if you just look at the quality of my videos, like literally like this week compared to like 3 weeks ago, I'm green screening, and now I'm setting up my camera, and I'm editing, I'm fixing the coloring. I got my mic in front of me. I got the audio straight. And I'm working on building relationships and building just my skill of creating content. And Morgan can attest to this, because like I'm editing, I'm learning how to edit like these audios and these videos all like now.
Yeah.
This is not
it's on the fly.
This is not something I've known how to do. Wow. So, when I get better, and I just go back and I look back like 2 months ago, I'm like, bro, that video is terrible. And when I made it, I was like, man, that video, that's finna go up. It's finna go up. Well, I can see why it didn't be successful. But yeah.
I'd love, if anybody's gonna hate on Flexx, it's gonna be me. I love hating on Flexx. But the things that he's done with the content for this podcast, and even the podcast, setting stuff up, kind of getting you on here. I've been extremely impressed. It almost feels like Flexx is like the supervisor. Because he'll hit me up. Hey, we got Kari on tonight. Hey, what questions you got for Kari? Hey, we still good for 9. Like, hey, I put this video in the Google Drive. I need you to look at it. And I said, hey man, I got it. Like right at my was not even a 9 to 5. It's a whenever to whenever. But I know. I'm the boss there, right? Like I do what I want. And I tell people like, hey, I do what I want. You know. With Flexx, it's like like he's having me do things, and he's putting the content out and making sure everything's timely. So I can just see that's a place where he's grown, and I'm trying to keep up. So we are over an hour already, man. This is crazy. So let's go ahead and get to the showcase for sure. Again, I don't know who went first. I don't know who goes first. So Flexx,
I'll go first.
Okay,
I'll go first because I'm ready to show this one off. So
let's go. What did you show last time? I think it was. Do you remember what you showed last time?
Was it it wasn't the Benz, was it?
Oh man, it's probably something.
I don't think so. But so we were talking about special occasions on our last episode, and I brought up the metallic silver Retro 11, and that is the shoe that I'm showcasing. Because this will be the shoe. Somehow, some way, if it's just the photos, this will be part of the wedding. My special day. Like, this pair.
That's beautiful.
And I have not worn this pair yet. I've had it for almost 3 years now.
I was gonna say, you got them on ice?
Yes, I do. Just because of the effect here.
Is it for that occasion? Like, that's when you RDS them?
That's not initially what I got them for. I thought the shoe was cool, but I was like, okay, wait a minute. Once I got them in hand, I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We can bring these out on a special day.
There you go.
Easily
love it.
That's my showcase shoe of the week. Definitely gonna beat Morgan's no matter what it is.
I mean, 11s belong on the basketball court, and that's it.
Go ahead and show your New Balance.
Wow.
Show your New Balance.
Because
what do you got? See, I told you. There you go. New Balance, of course.
I'm mad you said the New Balance, and that's exactly what you put. That's crazy.
I'm mad because I don't have time to go and grab another shoe, but this is it. It's man,
Talk to us.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad right now. This is the New Balance and Bodega 577 in the Hypercat colorway. It is inspired by Star Fox.
Fire.
You remember, are you old enough to know Star Fox, Flexx?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, Flexx. My bad. I was gonna say Flexx.
I know.
Are we talking about? Wait. Talking about the video game, right?
Yeah, it's a video game.
Okay, Star Fox 64. Yes, I just sold that game for a good amount of money. So.
Yeah. So, Star Fox inspired sneaker from Bodega and New Balance. Really fire shoe. For those of you who aren't on YouTube, I'll explain my shoe because people probably never seen this before. It's got a.
Or do they want to?
It's got a suede upper with it's like chambray. It's like some t-shirt material on this mid panel here. Very high quality pigskin suede on here. Your shoe wasn't very high quality, but it's all good. Neoprene on the inside. 577 is very slept on nowadays. You TikTok kids aren't talking about the 577. And that's okay. More for me.
Talk to them. Talk to them about it. They love collabs, though. So you might be like, oh, here's a collab.
Yeah. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say.
Right.
Which V is that? Huh? That the V4, V3, what V is that?
It's no version. This is the only version. It's the 577, bro.
577.
I think is it made in the UK?
No, I was going to ask where they made.
Made in Vietnam. This is a Vietnam pair.
Vietnam, okay. Good collab, man.
Very good.
Mine, I always bring them out on special occasions. People probably have seen them, but for anybody that has not seen them yet, I'll go ahead and bring them out here as well. This is the 1999 Air Jordan 14 mid. This is the East Bay exclusive / player exclusive. And this one, of course, signed by Tinker Hatfield. as well. So yeah, this kind of the crown jewel. This is the shoe that got me on the sneakers app. My Grail tail on the sneakers app. My best story of 2023 that happened. So with these, when I was a kid, when they first dropped back in '99, we had them on layaway. Found them in some little sneaker shop in St. Louis. I'm from St. Louis, and so we found them in some little sneaker shop, very small. Mom put them on layaway, couldn't get them out. I tried to find them for 20 years. Finally tracked them down. A guy had my pair, my size, dead stock. So which was amazing. And then I decided last year I'm gonna shoot my shot. The homie Tiana Denise, who is one of the hosts on Sneakers, her and Jamerson, shout out to my guy Jamerson as well. They got to meet like Tinker, and Will interviewed Tinker. So I was like, man, I'm gonna shoot my shot. So I packed up these. I packed up my Jordan 20s, and I packed up the Air Max 1 Big Bubble. It was right when the Big Bubble first dropped. I threw them in a box. I shipped them out to Beaverton with a letter to Tinker, and I was like, hey, you don't know me, but I'm a big fan of your work. Love what you do. Love what you've been to the culture. Didn't hear nothing back for 3 months. And through a friend, gave me his direct email. And so eventually I got him back, and he autographed both shoes on all 3 pairs. So both of the shoes have his autograph. So I have 6 autographs from Tinker on the shoes. But these were special because these are my grails. A lot of people have the low cut 14, but a lot of people don't have the mid of the 14. Yeah. So this is my showcase for y'all, man. Bring it out for a special occasion, and then going back in the case. So
I don't think we made it clear. I don't think we made it clear, Kari, that me and Flexx got to win this. All right. I don't think we made it clear you wasn't supposed to,
Damn it, man. My bad. I got other shoes I can show, I promise.
No, it's too late now. The damage has been done. We gotta start the whole thing over.
I got the Terminators. Y'all can have the Terminators. That's my showcase. That's it.
No, that is fire. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know that the 14s came in a higher cut than
that color.
So, yeah.
It was super rare. Yeah, and it's crazy they never retroed them. Like they even got the powder blue 9s that are coming back, but they never retroed that pair in that colorway, man. I don't know why. So maybe one day.
Yeah. Hopefully, I think they need to do more with the 14. I think the 14 is an incredible shoe. I know the COVID babies and Flexx are like nothing past 13.
Yo,
I got a ton of 14s. I got a ton of 14s. I got some 15s, 17s. Like, come on.
I know Flexx got them. He got them.
I know Flexx got them. I know Flexx got them.
Morgan, you talking a lot about Jordans here recently. You finna hop back to the dark side? Or what's going on? What's going on?
Look, I was looking at my Bordeaux 7s after last episode, man. I was looking at
New Balance money ain't paying them bills no more, huh?
No way.
Then that New Balance money, know it.
Yo.
Now everybody's on New Balance, so I'm not saying anything controversial anymore.
Oh yeah, touche.
It wants to be different.
I gotta be different, man. What's next? You saw the Diodoras. The Diodoras start making their way onto the For You page.
Let's talk about it. I like them. I like them. Yeah.
I like they had a WWE. Was it? No, it was AEW. They had a collaboration with.
Did they?
But
I'm not a big wrestling guy. I used to be when I was a kid. Not a big wrestling guy anymore.
No. I feel like that was shade.
Nah, he said wrestling is passe. No,
I grew up.
Yeah, like when I was a kid. Like, come on, grow up, Flexx.
I just grew up.
Grow up, Flexx.
Hey, I know Flexx cries when his favorite wrestler like gets the title or whatever.
When they don't get up. Yeah, I'll be the one.
How did you feel when the Rock came out and he said, what did he say? How do y'all feel about me being the head honcho or the head of the office now or something? Rock is definitely in my top 5, but Undertaker's my number 1. So when Brock Lesnar took the streak, man, there you go. Yo, I was crying. Like,
they planned that, right?
What? It was not planned. It was not planned.
It wasn't planned?
It was not planned. So he has a hip injury, and it kind of went like real bad in that show. So he couldn't kick up in time. So just just part of the show, the nature of the show, you got to run with it. So that's why, but it was not planned for him to lose the streak. not that
Oh
year.
wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
See,
That is interesting. Mark, you look so unimpressed.
No, he wants to hate.
So
He wants to hate, but he's like, wait a minute. He know his
I'm not
stuff. He
gonna
know his
front.
stuff.
I'm not
Wait a
gonna
minute.
front. I'm not gonna front. I know about the streak, right? I do.
Mhm.
I knew about the streak. I knew that he lost it. I couldn't
Mhm.
remember to whom. But like, I didn't know all that. That was fine. That was interesting.
That's interesting. That's
And
interesting.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who I like.
Wait.
I like
Who?
this might get our show taken off, but I like Chris Benoit, man.
So, guys, that has been the podcast for.
I
Yo,
was being serious.
That has been,
damn,
guys. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you guys keep tuning in. Kari, it has been an honor
I
for you being on
appreciate it.
the man. I
Love.
respect you, man.
Thank
Glad
you.
we had a chance to
Likewise.
chop it up. We
Likewise.
hope to have you on again.
Yes, sir.
Y'all have any
Yes, sir.
final thoughts or remarks for our audience?
Man,
Don't.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity, man. It's love, man. I'm a big fan of both of y'all. Thank y'all for taking the time, for real.
Appreciate you, man. We're a big fan of you too.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. Peace. It's more than sneakers, and we'll see you next week.